Hey guys, my name is Jackson, and in this video I'm gonna just do a little playthrough, not a full playthrough, but just a partial playthrough of my game Eco Ronin Infinite version 1.6.1, just in its latest state, because it's been a while since I've done this, you know, so I just want to show you some of the changes and things that I've made and just show you how the game's looking at the moment. This is our friend Laser Lucy, and that's how we treat our friends apparently in this game. So yeah, we got items and shit spawning around on the ground, shit trying to kill you, and I think I saw two chasing each other in here. Oh, I just witnessed a murder. So the AI, right, sometimes they well, what they do is they have different things that they desire, or like different priorities and tasks that they're trying to do. And if you're not around and there's no hostile enemies around, which by the way, whoa, what the fuck? Oh shit! He's gonna try and kill him. Yeah, that was interesting. So what happened then was, this is our shopkeeper, Pasqualdo. He just got shocked through the wall by our electric guy, and immediately turned hostile towards him and just blasted him up. Alright, he's going back to his shop now, good man. But what I was saying before about the AI, so they try to fight hostiles and things like that, but they also try and collect items, and if they wander into the shop and take an item and then leave, which I think might have been what happened here, Pasqualdo attacks them because you haven't paid for it. As the player, you can pay him with my 34,000 gold. Oh my god. So I'm gonna grab that. Pleasure doing business. Yep, thank you. And now if I leave, he's not gonna fight me, thank god. Do you know what? Let's fight him, fuck it. What am I doing? Oh shit. Oh, fucking Jesus. Let's get over here. And he's gonna still shoot at me across the map, I believe. Yeah, this dude does not fucking give up. Is he gonna... He's not gonna come over to the edge, is he? Yep, he is. Oh, good god. Can't get me under here, dog. He'll give up eventually, I hope. But yeah, so... Oh, we're on the roof? Yeah, cool. That'd be a good place to stop and talk for a little bit. But yeah, so the basic idea of the game is you get spawned on a random map like this. Enemies are spawned everywhere, different diverse tiles, and there's occasionally a weird fucking thing like this, right? And if you can get to the top of that, there is... Actually, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what's at the top of that, but basically it takes you to a secret world, where you're going to be confronted with some special handcrafted challenges. So this is Random World, where you run around and fight shit, collect items, and discover weird structures. And if you can get into the weird structure, you get taken to a handcrafted challenge. So I will tell you what's at the end of that. You get launched up into space, and then you do a platforming challenge in space, where you're grappling, you're launching yourself, you're falling, you're gliding, doing all kinds of crazy shit. And you know, there are other ones as well, not just this one here. There are big temples that you can go in where you're confronted with a bunch of puzzles that you need to solve. So let's go up here, because there's usually an item up here. Yep. How many diamonds have I got? 4. Fantastic. You need to collect... Fucking dude. Get out of my grill. You need to collect 3 diamonds to get to the exit and to go to the next floor. And you also need to defeat a certain number of enemies, which I have already apparently defeated. It also counts the enemies if another enemy defeats it, so that makes it a little bit easier. Just because if all the enemies kill each other, and you haven't killed any, then there's nothing you can do. This has 3 sets of gates with a treasure behind it. Well, it's only money. I don't really want money at the moment, so... But if you were going to get in there, there's a switch there. That opened the first gate. There's a switch here. And there is a switch here. Oh. And my frames have gone to hell. I need a new computer, man. I really need a fucking computer. God. This one is so shit. It's, I don't know what it's trying to do in the background of this game, but it's not the game that's causing the problem, it's just my computer that's freaked out. See, it's smooth again now, all of a sudden. Okay, now there are different tiers of all the enemies. That one over there is a 3rd level tier, which is one of the stronger ones. Oh my god, are they fighting? One of them must have hit the other one. No, they're not. Okay. Something just fell off the cube. That's fun. Oh, I died. But the gods took mercy on me. How nice of them. Oh, there are reflections in the floor? Oh, that's awesome. Let me crank this up a little bit. Oh, look at that material. That's beautiful. They're so shiny. And they're all fighting each other still. I wonder who's gonna win. Yeah, anyway, there's some good items over here which I'm going to try and grab, and I think my frames have been a little bit shit, but a little bit shit might have been an understatement. Yeah, anyway, that's the exit. I'm going to go to the next floor, and then I'm just going to stop and talk, I think, because I don't think my computer's going to be able to handle this, apparently. I think she's getting a bit warm because I just shot a video already. Anyway, you go through a bunch of these floors. Let me just show you before I do go to the next one. Oh, I know it's terrible frame rate, but once I find it, oh, there it is. So, up there, that big ass tower, inside that tower is a handcrafted dungeon. So, there's one of these on every floor, up to floor 5, and then you fight a boss at floor 5. And then the game continues to go on infinitely if you want to keep on playing. Frames seem to be going alright again. I'll just play when it's going alright, and then I'll stop playing when it's not going alright. But yeah, run around, beat some enemies. You can plant trees and get some fruit. And once you got the fruit, you can come over here to our crafting fern, make some juicy elixirs to save your ass when you're dying, because that'll happen a lot. Now I need to kill 8 more enemies. Such a violent game, god. Alright, our frame rate's gone to shit, so bear with me. I'm just going to find a safe spot to stand, and then I'm going to speak, if a safe spot even exists. Yeah, okay, I think this is relatively safe. What if I get up here? This might be a little bit safer. Yeah. I just want to find a nice view for the slideshow. Oh yeah, that's alright. But yeah, floor by floor, puzzles, combat, dragon up there. Frame rate, good again, apparently. But yeah. I don't even know why I was shooting this video, just to sort of show you, I guess, how it's looking. I'm pretty pleased with how it's looking. But yeah, if you want to play, links in the description. I might just leave this there. Actually, let's go for a little run while it's not being too bad. I do quite like the combat, it does feel very good to play. These things, they take you to it's like a color-coded flue fire. So if I go through there, I'll pop out at the other blue one. But yeah, that's the basic game. You don't need to see too much more, so I might just stop that there. Yeah, so the game's called Ronin Infinite. It's action, adventure, randomly generated. It's endless if you want to play it. The floors just get harder and harder and harder. The enemies scale, they get faster, they get stronger, they shoot more, they do more damage. There's more of them. I've got different handcrafted tiers of enemies as well, so there's the ones with the red eye, there's the ones with the blue eye, and then the orange eye, and there's a green one and there's a yellow one, and the yellow ones are just like fucking next level. But yeah, you know, like there's puzzles in the game. There's like combat arenas where you fight like several waves of enemies, which is kind of cool. All the maps are random. I've got probably like 30 or 40 or maybe even like 50 different tiles that he used to generate the map. So they're all put in different places according to the seed, rotated randomly. And yeah, it makes for some interesting combinations because you're playing through the game and you get unusual tiles next to each other. And there's a probability that you get no tile at all. So like sometimes there's also big gaps in the map as well that you've got to watch out for so that you don't fall through. So and you know, there's two themes of tiles. There's like the ones where you're just running through and fighting enemies and things like that. And there's a second theme where it's mostly ungrappleable material, the white sort of metallic shit. And if you try to grapple that, your grapple bounces off and then you fall. So there's a good mix of those two. So wherever you are on the map, like there's going to be holes, there's going to be shit you can't grapple to, and you're going to occasionally fall, and you've got to whip out your glider and try and find your way back to safe ground. I also put a lot of effort into the puzzles. So if you play it, the puzzles are, you know, they're pretty intense on your brain. You'd be playing through it thinking, fucking how am I gonna do this? That was the reaction of my brothers that I gave it to test it. It was pretty funny. I love watching people solve puzzles, and then there's just that moment where the lights come on in their brain and they're just like, oh, that's what I've got to do. Right. So I'm really happy with that. I grew up playing Zelda games, so the whole puzzle thing is something that I really love, you know, dungeons with different puzzles. But yeah, boss battle, floor 5, that's pretty hectic. Music by me and my friend Ben, who makes a lot of fantastic music for a lot of my games. But yeah, this game, Ronin Infinite, the floor-based version is pretty much done at this point. And I've got another video coming out either before or after this. It'll be called Ronin Eternal or something like that, or something 1.6. And that's these concepts, but taken to an infinite world, like a Minecraft world, where you can just go on forever and ever and ever, and you got to find items and objects, and you know, explore and navigate, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So check that out as well if you're interested. I'm going to put a playthrough of that up. But yeah, I'm pretty much done with this one. This game, Ronin Infinite, the floor-based one, has evolved into the Infinite one, the Infinite World one, the Endless World one, and so that's where it's probably going to go from here on. But I think I do really enjoy the puzzles and things, and I've got videos on my channel of what the puzzles look like if you want to look at those. They're called, like, I can't remember. So one of them called like Hectic Platforming Gauntlet, the other one's called like a Mirror Puzzle Dungeon, or like a Redstone Temple Dungeon, or Zelda Dungeon, I think, or something like that. But they're all in the Ronin Infinite playlist if you want to look at those. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do more puzzles in the future. So I think what I might do is combine the two games. So this one, the floor-based version, and the Infinite Minecraft World version. And I think what it's going to end up looking like is you're playing in the Infinite World and you're stumbling across, you know, strange-looking temples or like caves or things like that. And then you go inside, and then what it does is it takes you to either a puzzle dungeon that you've got to try and solve, or what it might take you to is a series of floors where, you know, you've got to go through and you've got to find all the diamonds and then open the doors. And, you know, each one of these dungeons could be like its own set of enemies, its own set of tiles, number of floors. You know, could be permadeath if you want it to be permadeath. So if you die, you've got to start from the start again. And, you know, maybe some of them might be 5 floors long, maybe some of them might be 100 floors long. Like, I don't know. You could do a lot with it. But yeah, I think it's going to continue to grow and evolve, and I think I'm going to continue to grow and evolve with it as well. And I think it's going to be something that I'm probably going to work on for, I think, months or years, honestly, at this point. Like, I've been doing game development now for maybe like 3.5 years, maybe just. So it's not really that long. And I feel like up until now, I've just been, sort of learning the engine, doing project after project. And I work on a project for a couple of months, and then basically I learn a whole bunch of new shit, and I realize how fucking terrible all my old systems are, and it just becomes so tedious to do anything. And so what I do is I just drop that project because it's just too complex, and it just feels heavy to work in, because it's just so much messy code, and it's just such a mess. And what I end up doing is I just put that away somewhere, file it away, or just delete it. And then I just start a new project from scratch and rebuild everything from scratch with what I know now, that I've, learned some new things. And I feel like with this version, I feel like I finally I finally built up something that feels like solid ground to stand on. And obviously I'll outgrow it eventually, and I'll probably build a new engine again. But for now, like, I've got a feeling this is going to be a pretty fucking big project, and I feel like I'm going to continue to update this for quite a while to come. It's I guess my dream game in a lot of ways. Like, it's sort of a mix of all the things that I've played, growing up and over the years, and all the things that I liked, and then just put them all together into, this thing. And obviously I've got so many plans that I want to do for it, and I've got to try and do it all myself or get people to help somehow. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet, but it'll continue to evolve, and I'll continue to add more stuff to it and make new versions, new maps, new monsters, new things to explore, new puzzles, maybe new mechanics. But I do like the core game, like the movement, 3D movement, up and down, grapple, gliding, fast paced, you move quick. There's a very high skill ceiling, like it's not a game that you can just like you play it and it's rigid in what you can do, like you can either do this or you can do that, and you're playing moves in scripted mechanical ways. It's not that. With the grapple, especially the way that you can reel that and launch yourself, and the way that you can fast fall. I've added in wall jumping as well, not in this version but in a different version, which I'll show you again soon. There's just so many different ways that you can move. Like, the whole thing just feels so fluid and intense, and in that sense, like, when you play, you don't feel limited by the move set, the way that your character can move. What you feel limited by is yourself. You feel limited by your own coordination and the things that you can manage to pull off, which is something I really appreciate about it. I like the inventory system, and I like the idea of collecting things and exploring places and feeling like you need to prepare before you attack one of these temples. So you're wandering around on the map and you're collecting items and things, and then you go into this temple and you're like, what the fuck am I going to find in here? Am I going to be ready? Do I have enough items? Like, am I skilled enough to pull this off with the resources that I've got? Should I turn back and get more? I don't know, like these judgment questions, you're judging like whether or not you can tackle this thing. And there's sort of like an element of fear in that as well, because you're confronting like an unknown situation. Like, you've got a little bit of information that you've managed to gather. Maybe that could be through like little hints scattered throughout the game, or maybe NPCs that you could talk to or something like that. But ultimately what you come across is these big daunting challenges. There might be temples, there might be caves, there might be fucking challenges in outer space, like whatever. And you're presented with this challenge, and you're like, you've got to make an assessment of whether or not you are capable of conquering this thing with the materials and the tools that you've got. And if you don't feel confident, you can go out and get more tools, and you can come back and you can do it easier because you've got the equipment to buffer your mistakes. Or alternatively, you could just go in with fuck all and just be a badass if you think you're good enough and just get straight to the end. I want it to be a game that you can always win with, like, right from the beginning. Like, I don't want your progression through the game to be gated by things that you have to collect in the game. I don't want there to be any prerequisites. Like, the only gate is your own skill and your own coordination. So that's the plan, baby. That's the plan. Everything that I just said, that's the future of this game. I'm going to explore more random generation stuff as well. I think something that might be cool is I've been playing the game Unexplored recently, and it uses cyclical dungeon generations. So instead of, you're coming down a path, like randomly generate a path, and then it splits into two. At the end of one is a key, and then the other one has a door. You need to get the key and then backtrack and go through the door. The way that cyclical dungeon generation works is everything generates in a cycle. And so as you're moving through the map, you end up back where you started eventually. So you can go through, find a key, unlock a door, get back to where you started. But, in that cycle there are other mini cycles. So you're going through, there's another cycle, get a key, go around. It's sort of hard to explain, but there's videos about that on YouTube. I figured that'd be a kind of cool thing to do. So instead of like you being in an open world where you're grappling and flying around and just launching across the map, it could be cool to put you inside a space where you got to grapple from wall to wall to wall and do platforming challenges, and you can't just skip through the whole thing by launching yourself over it with your grapple. And then like the whole judgment thing can come into play again, because they could be this way or they could be this way, or they could be multiple ways. Which way are you going to go? Would you rather fight this thing here, or would you rather brave this platforming challenge here, or can you figure out how to solve this puzzle here? And just give the player options and choices, and give them the chance to weigh the odds and have it all be randomly generated. So you can build different puzzles, puzzle after puzzle after puzzle, and then have them weigh this puzzle against this challenge, or fighting this enemy against this platforming challenge, or whatever. And it'd just be funny if they're playing through the game, and they see down one way, there's 3 classes of enemy A or something, and they just know that enemy's just a fucking monster, and they just really don't want to have to do that fight. But then also down path B, there could be a platforming challenge that they've seen before, and if they screw it up, they know that they're gonna, lose some items, or there's gonna be some sort of consequence. And they've done that platforming challenge before as well, and they're just thinking, fuck, do I want to do that as well? But it's which way do you go? I just think that'd be really funny. You're just constantly in these dungeons, and you're just thinking this or this, this or this. Do I go this way or this way, or do I get this item which has this downside to it, or get this item with this downside to it, with this upside or this upside, or I don't know. It'd just be cool to see what sort of combinations we can come up with, or rather the computer comes up with from the shit that you design. Man, I think I talked for longer than I played, but this was going to be a playthrough of the game, but I think this is more of a future of Ronin video. But yeah, download link is in the description. I'd appreciate it if you gave it a crack, and let me know what you thought. The things that you like, the things that you think need to be fixed, any problems that you have, or things that you think could be cool in it as well, things that you might like to see added. And if you can, stream it. You don't have to stream it publicly, but film yourself playing, film the screen. You can narrate it if you want, but you don't have to. And just send it to me, because I'd love to watch your playthrough and see, how you go with it, and see what your approach is to the different puzzles that I've designed, and how the combat is, and if it is intuitive or easy to learn or hard to learn, or if it, I already know that it's going to be hard. It's quite a hard game, but it does get more fun the more you play it, because you just start to get really nimble and agile, and then you can just pull off crazy tricks, and you're just like, fuck, that was sick. Yeah, so I think I might leave that there. But if you like this as well, make sure you check out the other video, which is Ronin Eternal Infinite World, or something like that. Basically this, but in an infinite world, with sort of Minecraft style generation, but not blocks, tiles, handcrafted tiles. Blah. Anyway, I'm gonna go have some food and chill out, I think. Fucking been up for ages doing lots of programming and my brain hurts. Alright, thank you for watching, guys. See ya.